business with my hooks and these kids. But I was a detention officer. And man, it got so hard one time. I was in there, what they call an interview. Anybody ever went to an interview? You ever went to an interview and you know nothing about the job? All I know, I read it in the paper. Hey, they want to hire a detention officer. And I said, I think I'll make a good detention officer. They said, I know about kids. And so I mosey on down there. And then they had all these folks out there, degrees and all of this, and this and law and psychology and all of this stuff. And I went in there and they said, you score higher than anybody else answering questions with common sense. I didn't know anything about that stuff. But I helped a lot of kids out that place before I left. And there's some kids that have done some crazy stuff. You'd be amazed how many folks, they use these kids to come across the border with drugs. And I had to lock these kids up and take them back to the border, drop them off. Next week, they're right back. Over and over again. The worst kids that was in that jail that I was there was military. It was stationed out by Fort Benning, not Fort Benning, but Fort Huachuca. And all these kids in there, most of them was military families. They ain't got time for their kids anymore. And these kids just running, doing crazy things, and they get locked up, and I have to go in there and talk to them. Nobody else will go in there and talk to those kids. And they said, you should not be doing that, going into this one section with all these staffers and whatever else they did. But I would go in there, and I was the only one that would take them outside, supervise them, and we would play football. I was the quarterback. I was the quarterback then. And we would play with the kids. And my prayer is that those kids, something happened to their lives later on. I'm only there to plant a seed. What God does with that part is in God's hand. How many kids did I talk to when I took them to the courthouse? I always wonder when I led them to that courthouse in shackles on their ankles and chains on their hand. They're not even 18 years old. What is going through their minds? But all I can do is show them the love of God.